How can something be created from nothing?
Yeah.
Like nothingness.
What is nothing?
But what is nothing? I know what humans are like. I think if someone could have clearly disproven God by now using science, it would have been done. Guy with the highest IQ, he believes in Christianity, for example.
Yeah.
Just for an example, though.
That is not a science book. It's a why book.
Welcome back to the Brothers in Christ. The podcast we didn't even know we needed. Don't know about you. Right, let's get into it. Matt, how you been?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. It's not scorching for a change, isn't it? It's like
It got a bit wet on the way in.
It's lovely in a nice cool church.
Yeah.
How are you?
Very good. Like I said earlier, I think I'm starting to understand seek first the kingdom.
Good.
Which is changing me for the better. So
I'd like to say I understand that, but some days I don't.
Some days I'm seeking first my own provision.
Yeah.
I fall into that. But yeah, I'm getting... The way I look at it is the more I seek God first in all things, the freer I feel. And also the more peace I have in my life.
Good.
I don't have all the answers. I have a few.
No, not all.
I have one important one.
What?
Jesus.
Hey.
Right. So what we're talking about today, Matt, go on. This is Matt's sort of like...
This is my baby, this one.
Yeah, he's
I'm
crafted this, especially it's been brewing.
Well, it's sort of come up because I've been having conversations with people over the last few months, really, like with family members, friends, people at work, because they all know I've come to the truth. Sorry to rub that in people's non-believers' faces, but they still think I'm a bit mad, and they don't understand that what I've built my faith on. It's not. They just think it's fairy tales and Santa Claus kind of thing. But
yeah, and I think for both of us, we had to look into the evidence ourselves.
Yeah, you can't just...
Like anyone. Because we wasn't born like... What age did you come to faith? 27? No.
Yeah, 27, yeah.
Yeah, because I was 28. So you spent your whole life not knowing who Jesus is. Like, also, most of my life, I believed in something. I couldn't understand what God is. Or, I didn't get to that. So there's so many different layers and different things to tackle. So we're going to get into that. And this is going to be a part one potentially, isn't it? We'll see.
I think it's two-part because there's so much to it. And yeah, it'd end up being like a 3-hour episode if we did it all in one. So, I wanted to sort of kick things off.
Okay.
With... I was speaking to someone about this the other day. Like, the big questions like, what is this? What is reality? Yeah. Where do we come from? I was speaking to someone at work and they're like, I don't really think about that. I'm like, how can you not think about that? Like, it blows my mind, those questions. Like, even before I come to faith, I'm like, wow, is space like never ending? Where did it all... What was nothing? Where did it all come from? And like the
questions you ask as a child.
Yeah.
And like no one has the answer. Well, no one had the answers for that.
Yeah, people had different answers.
Like, don't ask that question.
I was never satisfied with the answers.
Yeah.
But, the common thing we taught at school and in societies, there was a big bang. It started from nothing and out came everything. And there is a lot of scientific evidence that is plausible to that. We can look through a telescope and see redshift. The universe is still expanding. There's lots of things. But the thing that's always got me the most is the chances of that happening. The chances of me and you sitting here talking about this and experiencing consciousness, emotion, all that goes with it. The animals, we live in beautiful countryside around here, looking at animals galloping through the fields and all that. I just cannot wrap my brains around it.
Yeah.
I've got some facts here just to blow your mind.
The thing that gets me as well,
Go on.
like something, nothing, like how can something come, if you look in terms of like creation and just in everything, how can something be created from nothing?
Yeah.
Like nothingness.
What is nothing?
Like what is nothing?
No one can define it. Because they have the theory, the Big Bang Theory, and which, you know, I'm pretty on board with. But there was still something.
Yeah, there's got to be.
There was still a start point.
A cause and effects. Like
they can't explain how that came from nothing. There's got to be something before it.
Yeah.
I think that no matter what science sort of tells us in the future of how we came about, you know, once someone's finally figured the answer out, to me, what I've come to peace with in my journey of faith is that no matter what it is, I know God's behind all of it. Science is God, because everything can't come from nothing. It's scientifically impossible. There has to have been something to kickstart all of it. But I'll give you some facts anyway. Yeah. I'm not bored, by the way. I'm looking at my phone because my memory's rubbish. So like I need to, and I've got the facts on here, but I'll just throw some at you just to bend your mind, right?
Bend time and space.
So this argument comes up, it's called the fine-tuning argument.
Yeah, I know.
And just a few facts. Did you know that the universe expansion rate, if it was slightly larger or smaller, well, so it was larger, for example, the rate was larger than it currently is, that all matter flies apart too fast for any galaxies to form, even if it's just slightly out.
Ever so slightly.
Ever so slightly larger. And if it's ever so slightly smaller, the rate, the universe collapses on itself immediately. How bonkers is that?
What are the odds?
Yeah. Oh, I bet someone's tried to calculate the odds and it's like the millions of zeros or something like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Before.
We've also got, getting really sciencey now,
the
neutron to proton mass ratio.
Okay, yeah.
A change of roughly 1% either way of neutrons to protons would cause either all the protons or all the neutrons to decay, preventing the creation of stable atoms. So no atoms would be made. 1% of ratio difference.
Yeah, like how could that come about by chance? Basically.
Oh, we'll get to that. I'm not, yeah.
Oh, he's just warming up here. You can see he's getting all comfy.
We've got, let's have a look. Yeah, the strong nuclear force. If it was any stronger or weaker by just a few %, vital elements like carbon, which is what forms us, could not form or remain stable. And the gravitational constant. Even a minute increase in gravity would cause stars to burn out far too rapidly to sustain life-bearing planets.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing, isn't it? Like,
I love.
And there's other things as well, like, you know, that if the planet was slightly closer to the sun, we wouldn't exist. And
there's a story I love. It's I'm pretty sure where there's a guy's an atheist. He came over, I'm pretty sure from China, and he was an eye surgeon, studying all about the eye. And when he came over, I think he went over to I think it was America to study. And when he got into studying the eye, the anatomy, it was like, to have sight, trillions of cells have to line up.
Yeah.
He said the probability, he came over as an atheist, he said, there is no way through everything I've ever looked into that can happen by chance. Yeah. And that's just like one thing. And for me, like, I love the mystery, as you do too. But even the thing of why do we have these questions? Like, why do we even think? And
consciousness,
yeah. Like, okay, so explain energy, explain consciousness.
No one can explain what consciousness is.
And I love looking into the science of things, because for me, and like what you're saying there, science is a tool used to prove the existence of a creator. The next question is, well, what he's got, you know, like, you got to dig a bit further. But I think that's where, because I've also fell into that point when I was younger. I was like, we're all energy, we're all God, like that type of sort of like
God
New Age
God
type
is the universe,
stuff.
all that
Like we're all one, and okay, there may be something there, but what I would say for me is, like, it doesn't really answer anything, does it? No. It's like, oh yeah, like we'll just accept that. Accept what? Like, what does that even answer? Like, how can I be God? Because I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
How could I be the creator? Because I don't know. And I'm limited by the way I think, my brain. Like, there's limitations there. And when you, why do we keep seeking?
Yeah, that's another thing for me. Is like our understanding is capped. It's limited. Like, we understand the physical world around us. Mm-hmm. Science helps us understand the physical world, the physical processes. Mm-hmm. But that's as far as we can go with our human brains. That's it. We don't know, like, as humans, before we even dive into Christianity or anything, what is outside of our limited understanding. Yeah. Of outside of the physical world. So
you mentioned, was it protons and neutrons?
Yeah.
You go deeper, then you've got quarks. It's just like, but you keep going. Yeah. The point is, everything like us right now, like E equals mc squared. Make sure we get this right. Energy equals matter squared.
I feel my brain burning already.
It's sometimes something like matter squared times the speed of light. So something like that. The point is, to have matter, it's time slowed down. Mm-hmm. So like, I can do this, and like, to me that's like my hands are, like, they're there obviously, but that's energy hitting energy and not going through. Yeah. So like, it's like, you can keep going deeper and break things down, and you can get to the point of like, well, everything material or every type of matter is basically energy or frequency. Mm-hmm. It's just slowed down to a point where it's material. Like, stuff like that blows my mind.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, how?
Yeah. Well, this sort of brings me on to what I was going to ask you. Okay. Like, because a lot of misconceptions people have with my faith and other people is that it's science or this.
Yeah, okay.
That the two are incompatible. Do you think, all the scientific discoveries made, the advances made of humans and that, do you think science and God are compatible? Do they go hand in hand?
What do I think?
Do they oppose each other? Yeah.
I think in all history, I know what humans are like. I think if someone could have clearly disproven God by now using science, it would have been done. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And someone would have a massive ego and be very proud about that.
Yeah.
It hasn't. And if you look at all some of the best brains, in science, they might not agree on the same belief system or whatever, but most of them believe that there was a creator, mm-hmm. God. Whatever, they might use different terminology, but a lot of them, the greatest minds agree, and the people with the highest IQs.
Isaac Newton,
yeah. Einstein as well. Einstein was a bit
in between, isn't he? Yeah.
But there's loads, right? There's a lot of different, and it's like, like, even if you look at the people with the highest IQ now, mm-hmm. like the guy with the highest IQ, he believes in Christianity, for example. Yeah. Just for an example, though.
To have the highest IQ,
I just had to get that in there, didn't I?
You've got to know science and maths and stuff to have the highest IQ.
It's haven't you? Yeah, like, I think the more you look into science with an open mind, the more questions you have, which is rightly so. But to say, like, I believe in science, I had a conversation, actually, funny enough, I had a conversation with this about one of my clients, very science-based. Mm-hmm. We got into it. I won't share any information, but going through a really tough time at the moment. She is really tough. I won't share any details, but with my style of coaching, I'm coming a bit away from, as you know, PT nutrition. I think everything's about who you believe you are, your identity, right? But just to get to the point, I just asked a few questions, and what she said, she was like, "Well, I'm a woman of science," and I was like, "Okay, when did you first believe that?" She was just like, don't know, it's just something I was brought up, and that's mm-hmm. the way I've believed. And like, we got onto a few things, and it's like, well, right now I won't go into it, but she was like visibly upset, crying, upset. We just dug a bit deeper. Well, when did you first believe that? And it goes into you just seeking the truth.
Yeah.
So you're a person of science. Why do you think that doesn't go with the creator or God? And her answer was, well, I've never looked into it.
Mm-hmm.
A very smart woman.
Yeah.
Very, very smart woman.
Because that is the lie that is planted in all of us.
Because I'm science-based, but the thing is, I think science answers like some big questions, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I did sports science. I've looked into a lot of science of different areas, neuroscience, lots of...
Yeah.
They explain truths, but not like none of it disproves God. But then the next question is like people think, I'll lean on science and the evidence. But then you're
it's
like...
more secure and comfortable, isn't it?
Yeah, but like also like... It's just really interesting because I think it's the way your mind works because we want certainty.
Mm-hmm.
So in science, you can still have an anomaly in science. You know, you can't be 100%. You'll like, okay, you know, within that range, whatever. But like, my point is, it's like, it gets you so far, but there's certain things science I don't think can give me, because it couldn't give me the peace, the love, the connection, the way I see the world now, the things it just couldn't give me that. Like, there's certain things I used to be afraid of that I'm not afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah, you can be like, well, you can't prove it, and I can't.
Yeah.
But I can prove that I know in myself that I've overcome those things.
Yeah.
And I also know lots of other people that have through faith. Can I prove it to you? No. But then I can also, you know, like, I've been through that journey. I know what it's like.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just back to sort of like the story, what I said, like it comes down to, where did you first believe that and why? Why do you think it's all science? Because science is like just a form of creating truth.
I probably thought like that. It's like secondary school for me, I think.
Maybe conditioned. Yeah. Maybe we're conditioned like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no like... You learn most, you know, science, maths, English and whatnot. Then RE was just like, you know, religious education, this separate thing on the side. Quick glance over the few religions in the world and that's it. There was no free thinking.
I didn't like my RE teacher. It was terrible.
Yeah, they don't sell it well, do they?
He was. Oh, let's not get into that.
You love him, really.
He's not my enemy, so I'm not going to say that, because if he was my enemy, I'd have to love him. But like, yeah, just some people are just not your cup of tea, and that's also okay. Yeah. So like, I think you got any other questions for me?
I was just going to give my answer to it, really.
Okay, my answer is basically, if someone could have disproved God using science, they'd have done it by now and have a big grin on their face, but it hasn't been done.
Yeah.
So I think that speaks volumes. That's my answer. Mm-hmm. And I think you can't have... I think science... there's certain things science has got limitations, and it's got so far, and we keep trying, of course, but it doesn't disprove God or creator.
No.
In my research and looking into it, it doesn't.
No.
If anything, it gives you a stronger body of evidence.
Yeah.
But you've got to you've actually got to seek the truth. You can't have your own bias on it, because I've had my own bias on things, and you don't see past that. Yeah, that's exactly the other thing. So how would you answer it? Go on.
I'm very similar. I think going back to like our limited understanding, I think science is fantastic at explaining processes in the physical world that we can see, and some things that we can't see with the naked eye, obviously. Mm-hmm. But that's what it does. Maths and science stuff, it explains process, explains how the universe works, explain how our bodies work. But the point I'm getting to, John Lennox used this analogy. I like John Lennox. He's great because he's a scientist.
He's cool.
He's an Oxford professor. He says, right, take a kettle of water. Talking about how we get boiling water. Right? So he's talking about, okay, well, there's this heating element inside the kettle. The water particles all start moving around, banging together. That increases the temperature. Eventually it reaches boiling point. Voila, you've got boiling water. It didn't tell you what the mind behind that boiling water. It hasn't told you. Science doesn't tell you that someone on the outside of that kettle has pressed the on button because he wants a cup of tea. Okay, that's a very that's not me comparing that to God, but in a way it is, because we can use science to explain every single process in the universe. We can explain the Big Bang. We can explain evolution if you want to go there or not. I haven't made my mind up about that, but it can't explain the mind, the creator behind all of it. Those facts are reeled off about, the neutron to proton mass ratio, change of roughly 1% either way would cause all protons and neutrons to decay. No stable atoms would be formed. It's like, that is so specific. Those constants in the universe. And to me, like as we said before, everything can't come from nothing. And to me, those constants just prove that there is a mind, a conscious mind behind all of it.
Well, there's no evidence that something comes from nothing.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah, they can't prove that.
There's not. Yeah. My question that I used to always push back on any faith, religion, and talking about John Lennox, he answered.
We're talking before you came to faith.
Before I came to faith, yeah, and actually during when I did start, like first come to faith, because I was like, well, from a human perspective, probably not the best perspective to look at things, but like you know, we work with what we got. I just think, well, if God created all things, who created God? Mm-hmm. Now, as a non-Christian, it's a fair point. It's like, well, hold on a minute. But in the main monotheistic religion, you know, like in Judaism, Islam, Christianity, that they don't believe that. Mm-hmm. They believe that God's eternal.
Exactly. Yeah.
The difference being is like we're trying to comprehend. Well, okay, who created God?
From human minds, from our human
because an atheist, like when I was in it, like, well, I was probably agnostic, but my point is, like, you'd say, well, who created that and that and that and that and that?
Yeah, it's the chicken and egg thing, isn't it? Yeah.
And then it's like, well, how do you get your human brain around the idea of eternity? You can't, because I think that's the only thing that I used to be afraid of. Okay, if something like, say you did live forever, whatever, like the eternity thing, still does blow my mind. But I'm comforted with that right now because I'm looking at time right now linear.
Yeah.
And if you're outside time, it's a different, just going off on a tangent, but if you're outside time and space, you don't know what it feels like. You don't know what eternity would even, you can't imagine it or comprehend it. That's my point.
Yeah.
But that was one of my big pushbacks, and I thought I'd just share it because it's the wrong question.
It's the wrong question. It's the wrong understanding of the God that we believe in.
Yeah.
The God that we believe in is outside of time,
yeah, exactly.
And space.
It's a fair pushback though, because I used to think that myself.
It's a logical human question.
Who created that then? But you see how it comes from, we're asking who created.
Yeah.
If you're asking who created, obviously there's creator.
There's got to be
at least
beginning.
think.
Yeah.
It's funny how we ask that question, but You'd like to add anything? Any other questions?
No, I think that's it. I wanted to just say as well, like people are talking about science and faith. Do that go hand in hand? Do they not? So we've sort of covered that. Big barrier for a lot of people that are practical minded, science minded, is, you know, the creation story in the Bible doesn't match what science says, and other things in the Bible. And all I wanted to say on that is the Bible is not a science book. It's a why book. It's the story of why the world is the way it is, why humanity is the way it is, and why we need a way out of that.
A fairly accurate why.
Yeah, a very big, big answer to that why question. You know, we could sit and debate the Adam and Eve story, whether it's literal, whether it's not, whether it's that, you could go on for hours. People are undecided about that. I think I've made my mind up. I won't get into it because it's too long. That'll be another episode. I think that'll be a good episode, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It's a good story.
I think one thing I want everyone to take away from this is that it's not a science book; it's a why book.
I like that.
And when you view the Bible like that, and the stories, the teachings, the history in it, it'll make you think outside of the box, outside of our limited understanding as humans of, oh, well, that's not the practical, real science world.
Mm.
Do you get what I'm saying with that?
Yeah. I totally get it. The next question someone would have, though, is, okay, why that book?
Wow, yeah. It's like you read my mind.
It's funny that.
So I want to take this now down the route of history. Why Christ? Why Jesus? We've talked roughly like the big questions, how the universe. That leaves you with some sort of creator, in my mind.
Yeah, and I land
for other people's minds.
I land on the fact that I think if you look at the evidence, I personally, this was me before sort of like on the faith journey. It was like, well, there's got to be a creator. Mm-hmm. So the next question is,
because there's like millions of religions. So where do you go?
Yeah, where do you go? And I've looked into different ones.
Yeah, you've looked into more than me, to be fair.
Yeah, a little bit more. Okay, I just love John Lennox on this. I know we spoke about him earlier, but I absolutely love, like, I don't think Christianity is a religion.
No.
Personally. Like, this is my
Christ came to abolish religion. Which
look at who he's having a go at, the Pharisee.
Yeah.
He's like, you brood of vipers.
Yeah, he came to take down the religious leaders.
Okay, and this is like, just to put this out there, this is I would say probably one of the most common misconceptions around Christianity. Because as soon as someone says Christian, I'm a Christian, or Christianity, the way people look at that, they don't even understand. They already have their own way of looking at that. Church of England,
Catholicism,
whatever,
Sunday,
whatever they
smelly Bibles,
something's gone wrong, or like they've heard or whatever. Now, I love the way John Lennox talks about it, because he says, like, when you look at all the other major religions and different things, it's all based on basically a set of rules along the lines of, it's a merit system. Mm-hmm. If you do enough good, you'll get into heaven or nirvana or wherever that may be.
Path in it from A to B. Follow the rules along the way.
Follow the road, and you're gonna get judged at the end. And okay,
there's a scale at the end. Yeah.
Christianity, to me, this is why Christianity makes the most sense for me. Mm-hmm. It's not like any of the others. None of them. Not one. It's the complete opposite. It turns it on the head. It's basically saying, and don't take this the wrong way, it's nothing you can do. Yeah. It's not about you. It's about actually what God, through mercy and grace, He's given you, and you're accepted today. Like, you come to faith today, you're part of the kingdom. And boy, does it feel good. Yeah. Boy, like the life you get. And look, I get it. It's a big thing. Like, hold on, I'm putting all my eggs in that basket, right? Well, I'm going to miss out on this. Funnily enough, though, it actually opens up the freedom and the door. We're all looking for freedom from something. Like, a big thing for me I was always chasing was money, because I thought I'd get financial freedom. I can do this and that. Money, I don't have a spare. Say I'm a millionaire. I can't buy my way out of death.
Yeah, and and even then you're never satisfied. You get to that million, then what?
I want 2, 10,
you've got another 50 years ahead of you, then what?
I'm not saying as well money's a bad thing. I don't mean that. But my point is, what you're seeking first, really, I think we're all seeking a sense of freedom. And like, part of that comes into it. And like, if you look at through Christ, what He offers,
He gives you the freedom at the start.
Freedom at the start to also be who you're always created to be a new creation, but also like you got the freedom to overcome all the things you're most afraid of.
Yeah.
Death. And you do get that transformation. I just wanted to get that out there before going into it, because I think
No, it's a great.
For me, like the way people, as soon as you hear, because I was the same. As soon as I heard Christian, I'm like, oh, here we go, one of them, and I'm sorry. But
them Jesus people.
Oh, get away from me. But then also I think, as you know, I'm a follower of Christ. I'm a Christian, right? But I think there's a smart way to go about it, because I also think you can scare people off, and I don't think you have to. You know, I think like for me, it's just about living in the truth and sharing faith. And I think you've just got to be careful. And it's so sad that it's sort of got to a point where people hear a word and have a certain sort of idea straight away. I think that's sort of like the enemy working against.
Yeah.
And my point is this: I honestly just think I think Jesus is life. It's like the way, the truth, and the life, as he says.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much more. It's about connection and relationship. It's not about, are you good enough?
Yeah.
Get that out of your head. It's not about that. It's really
it's not about religion.
It's not about, and I don't know, like, it's not so much about a set of rules and regulations that you've got to really focus on. I'm not saying don't be a good person.
And hoping the scales tip in your favour at the end.
It's like, that's
the opposite of that.
So, yeah, because I've spoken to through my life, like, oh yeah, like Christians, like, oh, I hope I get into heaven. I'm like, what?
You're missing the whole point.
You've sort of missed the point. And like, this is people that have that faith, and then that can put you off as well, because you're thinking,
God accepts you at the start.
Well, what is it?
Yeah.
But clearly I can tell through my own journey and yours, and people, we don't like it right away.
Yeah.
Right away. So yeah, I just wanted to share.
No, that's great. I like that. I love his analogy on that. Encourage anyone to sort of. He's a good person to listen to.
Yeah, John Lennox. Like, if you're a science as well, if you've got a science-based mind, perfect.
He's great at bridging the gap.
Yeah.
And the misconceptions with science and faith. He's great at putting them both together.
Shall we get into some of the history then?
Right, let's get into the facts. I have to get my phone out again. Wanted to talk about history.
Okay.
So why we fall into Christianity, why we think Christ was a real person,
like where's
he was who says he was, and because that's what we, that's what we base our faith on. Ultimately, is my faith is evidence based. Pretty sure yours is evidence based.
Yep.
It took finding the evidence, reading the word to ultimately lead to a decision and have great confidence in. Okay, this is the truth.
For me, it's a combination of evidence and experience.
Yeah.
The hard thing, if I could give someone all my experience, download it, let them download it, you think, wow, I believe that. But I can't do that. So I think we start with the evidence.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So most, I'm not going to put a number on it, but most modern historians agree that Jesus was a real person. Jesus Nazareth was a real person in history that walked the earth, that did teachings. The miracles are up for debate, rightly so.
But as a person, he existed.
As a person.
As much as you've got like Roman generals or whoever else. Exactly. As much as pretty much any historical figure, it's like, if you're saying, oh, Jesus didn't exist, you might as well say pretty much everyone in history didn't. Yeah. I think that's a fair point.
Yeah. And I'm not just going to say that. I'm going to give you some facts on that. So outside of this, outside of the Bible, there's also evidence such as people like Josephus. Yeah. He was a writer, a Jewish historian who wrote around 93 AD, which is about 60 years after the death of Christ, and mentioned Jesus, noting his brother James and his execution. There are also other ones as well. I can't remember the name of them. Is it Titus also? Because with a T.
Titus or
something like that.
Along those lines.
And he talks about that he was crucified under Pontius Pilate.
Yeah.
There's another one as well that claims, I'm not going to reel them all off. You can look these up for yourself. There's another historical writer that talks about there was a group of believers that believed they saw the risen Christ. So this is stuff, people think that, you read the Bible and that's it. It's like we're reading a story about Santa Claus and we believe in Santa Claus. No, there is historical evidence outside of this that points to his existence and the events that happened within the Gospels.
And the clear point, there's people that you'd consider to be his enemies.
Yes.
That said he lived.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he was the crucifixion.
Yeah, a lot of these were non-Christian writers, or Jewish or
exactly
or Romans.
So why would they lie? It's not in their best interest to lie.
Yeah.
Like, you can see it from the point of, obviously, Jesus' followers, fair enough, but like when it's the enemy that literally like killed him, that they've got no reason to hide the truth there.
Exactly.
If anything, like, it's what they're saying.
Yeah. You've also got as well the places within the gospel are actual like real places you can go and see today.
Yeah.
Like there's archaeological sites where they dug stuff up and they found stuff that was there. It's not like once upon a time in the land of Nod. This is like, no, these are real places in Israel that you can go to and see for yourself, and the archaeology backs up a lot of what he said. And
that's why, just to know, when you like, I'll be honest, some parts when you go through, I think it's like Leviticus, Numbers, around in the Torah of the Old Testament, a lot of it talks through genealogy, like all the different people from different families, a lot of names.
Yeah.
Like, it gets, if I'm being honest, it gets a bit long-winded, those parts. But the point is, because you can
turn the page.
And the point is, though, it's like historical lineage.
Yeah.
It's
like Matthew starts with the tree of how Jesus came to be. Basically, he's teaching. He's talking to the Jews of, right, this is how Jesus came from Adam ultimately.
Yeah.
And if it was just, these are all real people in history that people can look back to, historians look back to. Same with like Pontius Pilate and stuff like that. He was a real person. History has a whole account of these people that are in the gospel.
Yeah.
I think what we're saying is it's not just a nice story with these characters in and these places. No, that these are real people and real places.
The history's real, and like I've got a good friend of mine, and he will always he pushes back to me. We haven't had a chat actually about this stuff for a while, but he pushes back and he'll say, "Well, it's a man-made book." Like I get it, because I'm like, no, God, but God inspired, meant to write 66 books, right? And the point is, I get it, because someone could be like, well, why believe any history? Okay, fair enough. It's a clear point, but then in the other breath, someone will talk about Julius Caesar or Genghis Khan or whatever, like all these people, like when it comes to Jesus, it's like, the amount of manuscripts on Jesus blows anyone out the water.
I'll get to that.
Anyone, we'll get to that in a second. So the fact is, like, okay, you could just say, I don't believe in any history, and that's your worldview. And I'm not saying it's a bad, like, if you want to do that, but you can stop right there. But you can't also argue that history's none of it's real. Like,
some of the wars.
It's like saying, I don't believe in science.
Yeah.
But science is that it can prove
the
things.
Evidence.
It's like, I don't believe in mathematics. It's the same thing. And the thing I love about, because I'm not mad into history personally. No, I'm not like that. But I love it when you can date things back. And what I like is, you got to remember, and I get, because people say, well, history has been manipulated and corrupt. I get it. But you think every archaeologist got into it to corrupt? Like, these people that we'll get onto some of the findings in a second. These are findings, like, they do it because they love it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a person that loves history, I'll be very honest. But like, think about how many people in the world that are searching for it. They want the truth.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people don't have their own bias to like, oh yeah, we've got and even like to get it to sort of the level of accuracy would just blow your mind anyway.
Oh yeah. I should have said that as a disclaimer as well. When I said most historians agree he was a real person, we're talking non-Christians.
Yeah.
And Christians, talking to other people from other faiths, people, atheists.
Yeah.
The consensus is
he existed.
Some events we know definitely happened.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, places, definitely real.
The point, just to summarize it, is you can obviously say, well, I don't believe in any history. That's one argument.
Yeah.
Fair. Like, that's, see where that like gets you. Like it's quite a limited belief anyway. But I understand it. Like, I get it. And then the other thing is, well, okay, if you just dig a little bit into history, to say that Jesus didn't exist, but to say that all these other people, like very sort of like famous in today's age, you know, you Marcus Aurelius, all these, the level of evidence on a random guy from Nazareth in comparison to someone of that stature, or, you know, like what people see today, it's like it we'll get onto it and get to the point. But like, it's that's sort of what I'd say the way to summarize it. It's like, you can believe what you want to believe, it's your free choice. But the
evidence stacks up.
Yeah, to say Jesus didn't exist, that's
I
think you just got to open your eyes and have a look. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Well, throw a couple more at you.
Oh no.
Paul's letters. So, after the 4 Gospels in the New Testament, if people aren't familiar with the New Testament, there's a series of letters that were written by Paul. These are believed to be written between 48 and 64 AD. And they've been corroborated. And the interesting thing with them is there's eyewitnesses within those letters, people he's talking to, that saw the resurrection, saw the miracles, saw what Christ did. And one of them is really interesting. It's 1 Corinthians 15, chapter 3. Sorry, verses 3 to 7. I'm not going to get it out and read it because it's quite long, but it's the creed.
Okay.
We do say creed in church now. It's different to but the principle is the same. The same beliefs are in it. And ultimately, the creed basically says Jesus lived, died, as a crucifixion, and rose on the 3rd day. He appeared to 500 people. And the rest is history. And the interesting thing is they've dated it, that creed, to within a year of his death. And some new evidence coming out, they reckon it's potentially within weeks of Jesus dying, this creed. So people go, okay, well, what does that mean? Well, this creed was formed because it was the belief of everyone at the time, because there were eyewitnesses that saw what happened. And this, bear in mind the context of this was in a Jewish country, very Jewish and Roman setting. They had also seen the Messiah die and rise again. And now it's spreading like wildfire. If it was a lie, it would have never have got out. If that creed had never got out, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about this. And now that they think they've dated it to within potentially weeks, but for the purposes today, I'll say within a year.
Yeah.
But that's pretty mad, isn't it?
Pretty mind blowing. I think as well that people, I didn't get this as well. Like I said, I'm not a real like historian. Like that's not my area, but
it's not mine either. As well.
I think what people forget, in order to write, even like do written, like write paper, like it wasn't an easy thing for people to do. You couldn't just, it's quite an expensive thing. Like if I can sort of like, I'm trying to explain it, but like you can't just pick up, like we could just pick up pen and paper now and just write. Back then, you'd actually need a good reasoning to write something.
It costs.
And when you look at all the manuscripts, like we'll get into it, the manuscripts, it would be...
We'll do it now.
Go on, let's go for it.
So it brings us on to the next point, which is about the Gospels. So in the New Testament, there's 4 books, Matthew, Mark, Luke and John.
Yeah.
And they're based on eyewitness testimony of the life, death and resurrection of Jesus. And it details events that happened, miracles, which I know might be, walking on water. How's that possible? Don't worry, we're not going to dive into that.
Show you how
we'll
to
break
do
you into that. But what we want to talk about is, if those events are true, we need to know that it's reliable in order for us to believe and base our faith on, ultimately Christ rising from the dead and us having eternal life. We need to know that gospel is pretty accurate. So, the Gospels, like you said, were copied from then, word for word, pretty much. We have 5,700 Greek manuscripts. And a manuscript is basically a copy of the 5,700. And
that's just the Greek, because it was Aramaic and Hebrew as well.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just one language.
Yeah, Greek manuscripts. Some of these, I think there's one in Oxford or something. There's like one of the original manuscripts. It's got like a fragment of John.
Yeah. You
can go and see it.
I've seen that.
And they've dated that to within 100 years. It's pretty fascinating. And your point, was...
Maybe I'm getting into history, actually.
It's interesting,
It's
isn't
quite
it?
cool.
It's interesting when it's something you're passionate about as well. What's that? I lost train of thought.
I think I know.
Talking about copying, that was it.
Yeah.
So copying back then to make a manuscript was a big deal. It wasn't just like any old person can write it down. It was
also people couldn't write.
A lot of people were illiterate.
Yeah.
So they relied heavily on spoken word. And what was it you said in Julius Caesar earlier? There's only like a handful of manuscripts for his existence, and everyone believes.
I don't know the number. I get, because I've looked into lots of different people on this stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, how many? I'll get the numbers mixed up, but I don't think there's more than hundreds. I think it's like 10, 20 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
There's not a lot.
But just look into Marcus Aurelius, your Julius Caesars, like someone like maybe you like from the past, Socrates or something. Look at the amount of manuscripts you have of them, then compare it to the New Testament.
You taught that in school, and like, this person existed.
Yeah,
based on a handful of manuscripts.
Based on, sometimes it could be like 5 to 10.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not debated. They've got 5,700.
And also that's not all the manuscripts.
Yeah, there's still more.
I've seen numbers that say it's 25,000 plus in those. Crazy.
This is why,
and you can go and see them.
Yeah,
but you can go and visit.
You can go and see them. You can see the physical manuscripts, and we're finding historians and archaeologists are finding more and more as we go on, and that's why we keep having newer translations of the Bible. It's not because English is changing, but we heard Wes Huff talking about this, that we're actually getting closer to the original document because we have more manuscripts.
We're finding more,
that's why we've gone from like King James to NIV, to then from NIV to NLT.
ESV, yeah.
I mean, you'll get into all this if you do come to faith, and you'll understand that there's different versions of the Bible.
Also as well, this blows you, because it's written in different, like, the words back then, so you have, like, you could have a word and it's got 3 different meanings.
Yeah.
Like, you could have the meaning in Greek, and like, it's...
Yeah.
It blows your mind. Like, for word, I'm not going to go into the Greek and stuff, but like, if you look into it, it's so fascinating, because you could have like something saying word, and sometimes it could mean it was like a written word. It could be a spoken word.
Yeah.
And when you start digging deep, you're like, wow, like it just... Yeah,
the depth.
Depth. It's just crazy. Like, it's so... There's so much. There's just... You just can't take it all.
Exactly.
All in.
Well, that sort of, that sort of sums up why the gospel, why we have a gospel in the first place. It's not that the church has invented it in the last few hundred years and now we'll follow it. It's dated back to pretty close of, the gospel's lives, the gospel writers' lives. What I wanted to ask you was, reading the Gospels, what was it about the Gospel, do you think, that made you feel like you was reading a real eyewitness account? For example, like John and Matthew were both eyewitnesses, like first-hand eyewitnesses. Yeah. Was there stuff in there like linguistic styles or anything like that, or things in it that you felt like you wasn't just reading a storybook, you was reading history?
I think for me, it's the slight differences did matter, in the sense of like, it's not people trying to align something purposely.
You mean the differences between the Gospels? Like
just the slight differences and
what people call contradictions.
Yeah. But it still all aligns with like, I think one says like there's 3 crows 3 times, crows once, whatever. When Peter denied Jesus, it's like little things like that. But like the story throughout, it's just spoke to me really. And the more you read it, the more. For me, honestly, it's not so. It's more the wisdom.
Yeah, the wisdom.
The wisdom speaks out more than. After looking in many different things throughout my whole life, that level of wisdom is just. It can't come. I've never looked into anything other than, I think the thing that. Yeah, nothing. I'm trying to think.
Can't come from man.
It can't come from man. Like it's got to come from higher. It just has. Because we know. Look at the way the world is today. Let's be honest. Like it's just.
If it had come from humans, we wouldn't need this.
It doesn't.
It would all be sorted.
It's nothing like something a human would come up with anyway. Even if you look at the best films that you've ever watched, maybe like your films like a bit of Lord of the Rings or whatever, or like the storylines, if you dig deep, it's very like basis on everything we get from the Bible. Yeah. Like everything. Yeah. And it's like,
I think Narnia's meant to be, isn't it?
Like C.S. Lewis, for example, even if you look at like Aslan, all that stuff, people have different takes, but the point is like, look into any like great, like some of the greatest films, it's the battle against good and evil, and there's certain, if you look deep, there's different things in it. I won't spend too long going into that, but like, for me, it's just it's the wisdom, and that wisdom is all there. Even like going off from the Gospels, you don't realise about all the stories you've heard through your life actually come from there. Yeah, David and Goliath,
sayings and Noah, stuff as well.
Sayings. Yeah, there's so many. Like, it just blows your mind. But for me, like, just the wisdom. I've had different spiritual experiences in my life, so when the way I would look like, okay, let's not get into trying to prove that Jesus walked on water. I believe he did. That's my belief, and from experiences I've had. Yeah. Because obviously I believe in spiritual realm. Like I believe in, like, we're limited to like, you can't really compare human with God, right? Let's be honest.
Well, another thing, John Lennox needs to get some money from this. We keep chugging his name in, don't we? But like, he summed it up great with the walking on water thing and the miracles. Yeah. If Jesus is who he claims to be, i.e. God in the flesh. Yeah. Well, God created water, so it's not hard for him to walk on it. Yeah. So if you can rise from the dead and create the universe, miracles aren't really an issue.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like, and when we get stuck in the literalism, we're like, oh man, like, how can it's like we need to prove it. Maybe you just never get to the point where you can prove certain things. Nah. You're not God. Like, for me, like, I'll actually answer the question. It was just the wisdom.
The wisdom.
We're not like, I'll be honest, when I first started, because I started looking into the Bible before coming to faith, I never got it. And the thing that shifted was what Jamie Winship talks about, the separation worldview versus connection worldview. A worldview, you'll be thinking now, what's a worldview? Fair question. It's the way you view the world, and it's the way you view yourself in it as well. So like when you read the Bible, if you look at yourself as separate to God, you don't know God, you'll automatically separate yourself from other people around you as well, and different things. So when I started reading the Bible, I honestly didn't get it at first. But I also started in like Genesis like an idiot. Yeah. Like I started from the start. So I didn't even get to the Gospels anyway until I became like until I come to faith. So I didn't actually read those books. So it's a bit different, but like my point is, like, when you understand and you see the world differently as connection that God wants connection with you, and the point of life is connection, not to be separate and not to live in scarcity. The way you read the book completely transforms. That's the other thing. So when I came to faith, before coming to faith, I started the book from the start and just read the Old Testament and got so far.
Yeah.
And I got some of it. Like, I like some of the stories. But like, you know, you're going through numbers and like...
Mad, isn't it?
When I came to faith, I realised, right, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to start the Gospels. And straight away, the thing that stuck out to me was the teachings, the wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And it changes the way you think. Jamie talks about this as well. Okay, so if you meet someone today, if you have a conversation, how many times I was like, hi Matt, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. How are you? That's formulaic conversation.
Yeah.
Like it's just wired into us. Jesus doesn't talk like that.
No, he asks questions, doesn't he?
The things he says. How do I get born again?
Mm-hmm.
You need to go back into your mother's womb.
Yeah.
And Nicodemus is like, how on earth do I do it? Yeah, but like it's like, how do you get into the kingdom? Be like children. What does that even mean? Like, what?
Yeah.
We're so stuck in the rational mind. It's like Einstein. Yeah, Einstein said, the rational mind should be your faithful servant. Yeah. Intuitive mind should be basically the master. Like, the point is, we're so stuck in the rational, we try and rationalise everything that we miss the point completely.
Absolutely.
I think that just gone off on a few different tangents there. But
so mainly for you then, it was the wisdom and the teaching that made you think.
Also the way I read, so from the Bible itself, I would say the wisdom and the teaching and the way Jesus spoke to people, I've never actually... I've never come across the way Jesus speaks to people, and that's what made it feel so different. And I couldn't give the answer at that point.
Yeah.
So it just got my mind like probably a bit baffled, but like I want more.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the best way to summarize. I went.
No. It's different answer to what I was expecting. Different take on it from me. Why I think the sort of. It was like a historical document I was reading. Was someone summed this up great? That there was differences and slight variations in the stories told throughout all four. But if you imagine, like, say, like when an incident happens, like a murder happens, or someone's run over, and the police ask eyewitnesses, "What did you see?" And the one person says, right, this person was riding a bike and then all of a sudden I saw these two cars crash. Then the other person say, I saw this lollipop lady crossing the road and then these two cars crashed. Yeah. You get my point.
Yeah, the point is.
They saw and experienced different things and the different takes, but
the truth
ultimately the main part of the story was consistent.
Yeah.
And, you know, people debate like, who appeared at the tomb first and all that.
Was it Mary Magdalene?
Yeah. One says this, one says that. And the actual differences and variations, it makes it, to me, seem more
truthful,
believable and truthful that it is.
Yeah, if it lined up, like, I get your point. I totally get that point as well. If it lined up perfectly and everyone's story was the same, it's rehearsed.
Yeah. And the other thing for me as well was like I said before, it's like we're talking about real places here. We're talking about real people that existed.
Yeah.
And Wes have said this as well, like the names that are mentioned, the names of people that are mentioned throughout the gospel were actual common names during that time. And you know, they could have said like, you know, I'm not going to name it. They could have come up with any sort of names if you were just writing a story, but it was consistent with the time.
You know what as well? Like, I think there's so much. The fact that you could I don't even think you could try and make it up.
Yeah.
You know, like the whole story. Like the level of wisdom in the Bible.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing. Like, it's like, if
you read it and it changes your life.
Yeah, because, okay, look at some of the best writers of like, okay, so I mentioned like J.R. Tolkien, like Lord of the Rings and stuff. But everything within Lord of the Rings, a lot of that comes from sort of concepts from script. Like the wisdom is from, I would say, the Bible. Like, my point is, if you look into sort of like the the best a human can do, it doesn't come close.
No.
Like 66 books, 40 different writers.
Across however many different countries.
Different countries.
Yeah.
And
different
also
languages.
And also this is different languages, 3 different languages. And then also you've got people like from different lands, different beliefs. There's so much. And when you backdate and go through the history, well, that was there.
Mm-hmm.
That land was there. That's how that land was formed. That's what it was called back then.
Yeah.
That's what it's named today because of what happened there. Like it all just adds up. I don't think you could even the fact that you could think you could make it up. Put it this way, you spin on it. Get 10 people that have seen something and try and get them to line it up.
Yeah.
That's a better thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, get 4 people.
Yeah.
Get 4 people to try and tell you the same story for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That will be quite difficult.
It'll be different.
Well, we see where as soon all you've got to do is get a police officer interrogate people, and they'll start cracking. Just watch them. My dad watches them all the time. The police programs, interrogation. Yeah, like my point is, like you're talking so much. I don't even. It just blows my mind. Yeah. Like that's a good way to look at it. Flip it.
Yeah.
Try and get 10 people to tell you the same thing from what they saw.
Yeah, exactly.
Like even like I'm talking, get the discrepancies as well, but like it's look at it from the other perspective as well. Like
it's mad, isn't it? Proper mad.
We can't get humans can't agree on everything.
No.
And you've got 40 different authors. You've got different I can't
remember
agreeing on the truth.
Number as well, like the amount of cross references in the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Oh, it's crazy. I don't know the number, but
it's like thousands and thousands.
Yeah.
There's no
and people are like, oh yeah, but someone could just write that in now. Like, okay, but then you'd be
it's
like,
too complex. I think that's what we're saying. There's the complexity of it.
The complexity, but then okay, they've just found Dead Sea Scrolls, or they've just found this dated within this. Who wrote that?
Oh, that's another one.
In the same language and the same and the same material used and all that. Like, someone just made that up and just hid it. Like, come on, and they can. I'm not an architect, but they can date when that paper comes. You know what I'm saying? So you get my point.
Well,
it's
the Dead Sea Scrolls, right?
Go on.
So they were found in 1947.
Yeah,
and they've dated them back to roughly between 150 to 70 BCE, so before Christ, right? And it's basically the Old Testament.
Yeah.
There's other things as well, but the Old Testament is in there.
Yeah.
And it has the same, pretty much, almost word for word. There's textual variants, but
which
word for word, the meaning is the same.
Yeah.
Right. The Book of Isaiah is in there. One of which is this, Isaiah 53. Verse 5. And there's many Isaiah passages that talk about the same thing, but it's ultimately pointing to Christ, pointing towards the future. And this was discovered not long ago. We're talking less than 100 years ago. This was discovered. Talking about the suffering servant. Surely he took up our pain and bore our suffering, yet we considered him punished by God, stricken by him and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. We all like sheep have gone astray. Each of us has turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. That's just one of many in Isaiah that point towards the Messiah ultimately that would come, die for us, for humanity, to save humanity. And there's others in there that are a bit more specific. Like there's one when they talk about gambling on clothes or something like that. I can't remember what it was. But,
after.
You know the one I'm on.
I know the one.
Yeah. But yeah, that was found to be dated with 100 years before Christ was even here, and it's pointing to him. Everything in that Old Testament points to him. The Jews would maybe potentially disagree on that, but the point is that we're making out this entire episode is the historical evidence it's starting to pile up. We don't base our faith on, a story that we read. Once upon a time, this happened, blah, blah, blah. Oh, there we go, we're in heaven. No, this is based on solid evidence, history, but the one thing everyone might be thinking, that some people say is, okay, I agree, he was a historical person. I believed he was in these places, but come on, he didn't rise from the dead, surely. Well, did he? I reckon we'll talk about that in the next one. Yeah. Dive into that and what that ultimately means for all of us. Because as C.S. Lewis said, if it's I'll misquote this now, but if it's not true, then it's just another story, isn't it?
If Christianity isn't true, then it doesn't really matter. But if it is true,
it means everything.
It means everything. Yeah.
Wrap it up there?
Let's wrap it up there. So if you want to find out if Jesus did rise, then check out part 2.